It works.
Wow, look at that.
And we're live.
We're live.
It works.
On multiple platforms.
Yes.
I feel like a professional.
Yeah, it works. I believe it.
Well,
After all that, it was literally, how long did that take to set up?
pretty long, not as long as I expected.
Yeah.
Not as long as I expected.
Threw me in at the deep end with it,
Well, yeah, but you know about these things. So anyway, welcome to the show, guys. First show of 2020, and it's been a long time. As you may noticed, we're still in a loft, but it's a different loft than we were in last time. Mainly, we used the excuse of Matt moving house to just go, let's just have a break.
Have a 3-month breather.
Let's just have a break.
Christmas out of the way.
Get Christmas out of the way. And as you can notice, Christmas was particularly stressful and very busy for me because I lost a ponytail and gained some grey hair and everything.
Yeah,
so.
I'm not happy about the lack of hair from you. Like, I remember came to one of your gigs about, what was it, a week ago. I walked in and went, what the hell did you do?
You were like, this is not right. I think were your exact words.
You could have given me your hair, though.
I know.
I mean, I've got plenty. You can see I've got plenty to go around. I'm all right. So
well, you know what it was. It had been 10 years, and it was time for a change. But I do have to say that, I mean, if we were prepared at all in terms of, apart from the streaming stuff, I'd be able to show you the picture. But I'm sure if you dig around online, you'll be able to find it. The excuse to get my hair cut, I think, was probably the greatest excuse that anybody's had to get their hair cut.
Which was what?
Yeah, it was a pretty good excuse.
I got my hair cut into a 1987 circa Mel Gibson mullet, dressed as Martin Riggs from Lethal Weapon, and got my picture back to back with Danny Glover.
Yeah.
Riggs.
Can't beat the clown Riggs. Which I think was worthwhile.
Yeah. He didn't say to you, I'm getting too old for this shit.
He did. I made sure he said it. I made sure I even wrote it.
Yeah.
So
I'm just like, because I'm monitoring everything just to make sure that we are actually streaming properly. By the way, we do have somebody in chat on Mixer. We have Crow_MST3K_3000. Wow, I can't say that.
I'll just call you Crow for short.
Yeah. So he's watching.
hello, Crow. That's good that you're good at Battlefront 2 because you could probably kick Matt's ass, maybe.
I play a lot of Battlefront 2 as well.
He plays it a lot.
Yeah.
This isn't a gaming stream, okay?
Not strictly a gaming stream.
It's not strictly a
Star
gaming
Wars,
stream.
It?
Not strictly. Matt can explain. Let's go back to the beginning a little bit because it's a new year. We've got new people joining us. Obviously, we're happy to have James Marsh, aka the Gaming Muso, with us, who you may know from YouTube and such like, and who I know.
Or you've never fucking heard of me in your entire
you've never heard of him.
Check out the
it's
Gaming
fine.
Muso on
Yeah,
YouTube.
thank you.
Check out the Gaming Muso on YouTube. Absolutely, yeah. So, going back to the beginning, Club Star Wars was something that Matt started on the Xbox back in...
Ooh, when did Club start on Xbox? We're talking 2017?
2017, okay.
Possibly, yes.
So you were living in New Zealand.
I was in New Zealand at the time. Started up Club Star Wars when Club started off, just thinking it wouldn't amass to nothing, but it did, and we've now got over 100,000 followers on the Xbox.
That's pretty impressive. Like over 100,000 on Xbox.
Yeah,
so that's what people are watching on Mixer. If you're joining us on Mixer, then I'm assuming that you're watching through Xbox.
Yes. And,
So hello, we can finally speak to you directly now
directly through the club, which is amazing.
Because James has figured out all the jiggery pokery to stream us in multiple places at
Computer
one time.
wizardry.
This is what I try and do, So it's
Which we, as you know, we have had a bash at doing some live streaming in the past with mixed results. Probably the best one was the one we did with Fraser Diamond last year, which was one of the last shows.
Yeah,
that was really good fun. So I think we're going to be doing more of it.
It
feels like it should be a live show.
Yeah.
So but as you know, loads to catch up on. Last time we had a chat, we were literally just talking about our ideas, hopes, dreams, fantasies for what would be the Rise of Skywalker, but it's been out for some time now, so I've got no qualms whatsoever about talking spoilers. I'm sure you haven't, or you.
And if anybody does, please put it in chat so we can ignore it.
Yeah.
You know, everybody, like, with regards to Star Wars, you kind of, if you don't go and see it in the first couple of days, then you can expect spoilers at least like 3 or 4 days after.
Fair game if you've not watched it in the first couple of days.
Yeah.
Although it has to be said, before we get into it, it has to be said that people seem to keep, and I don't know if it's the thing about that people just respect Harrison Ford, or maybe I just think everyone should because I like the man so much, but nobody seems to like spoil his bits. Do you know?
Yeah, because I mean that was kept so quiet, wasn't it?
So
like
quiet.
I genuinely didn't know that was coming.
I did not know that was coming, and you know,
I did.
Yeah, but you dig deep into the leaks and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I try and skim it, not too much.
Yeah. Although there's something about that actual scene which flew over my head when I was watching the movie.
Was it a TIE fighter?
Yeah, it did make that noise. Yeah. No, I mean, like, I'm obviously getting into the movie sort of halfway through now, but that particular scene, that was Leia projecting herself as Han Solo.
Is that what they're saying?
Really?
That's what they're saying now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what killed her off.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was her last push to
save her son.
Save Ben.
So that's what that was. Oh.
And apparently there are things left on the cutting room floor that do explain that a little bit better, apparently. So I've heard.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, we do have a couple of people watching on Twitter.
Yeah.
If you're watching on Twitter, if you're watching on any other platforms, we would ask you to come over to the YouTube channel, because that's where you want to try and pull people over to now, really, isn't it? Onto the YouTube channel. So if you type in, there's links in all of the things that we've tweeted out. Just come over to the YouTube. We can still see your chat, but if you come over to YouTube and chat, then we can see, because I can see a couple of things on Twitter. But please come over to YouTube so that everybody else can see it, and then we can talk to you more, you see.
And for the love of God, subscribe.
Please.
Yeah. It's not bad. It's not bad considering organically it's not bad. It's built okay. But so I think, as we normally do, let's kick off with a bit of the latest news, shall we, first of all. Yeah. So you've pulled up a few things here, Matt. This taken from TheVerge.com. The Rise of Skywalker is proof that Star Wars needs to reinvent itself.
How so?
Well, I will tell you what Chaim Gartenberg has been saying about this.
Yeah, please.
Not all 1 billion movies are created equal. So, Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker has officially crossed the 1 billion at the box office. 1 billion at the box office worldwide, making it Disney's 7th film in 2019 to hit the 10-figure mark.
Okay.
Ching. But The Rise of Skywalker has taken longer than its predecessors to hit 1 billion. Oh no!
Oh my God! It's got a time limit on
Heavens
it.
to Murgatroyd. The latest indication that the 9th Star Wars film just isn't doing very well at the box office compared to the other sequels. Come on. This is trash already. But I do love to just take these people apart.
Yeah.
So, for nearly any other film, hitting 1 billion at the box office in 4 weeks would be something to celebrate. But The Rise of Skywalker is a Star Wars film, as well as the closing piece of the resurrected sequel trilogy. It's taken Rise of Skywalker 28 days to cross the 1 billion mark, when The Force Awakens hit the same mark in 12 days, and The Last Jedi in 19.
Can I just say, I would like to be able to make 1 billion in 28 days.
I would like to be able to make it in a year.
We have some subscribers.
I'd like...
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, we got some subscribers. Yeah, we got 80s Nostalgia, who has just subscribed. So that's my friend, Craig, nice. 80s Nostalgia. And we have Scoravensis, who is my friend Ben. He's like, so, hey, hello, guys.
Nice one, guys.
Hello.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
For joining us.
Yeah, I'm probably going to go against the grain here, but it should have been over 1 billion in 14 days. That's 28.
Do you think? Yeah.
It's the last of the 9 film saga.
Yeah.
It shouldn't
should have hit 1 billion instantly.
It should be nearer 2 billion by now.
Instantly,
but should it though?
Yeah.
You know, because
Star Wars.
Yeah, I know, but The Force Awakens was, you know, there'd not been Star Wars for quite some time when Force Awakens came around.
Yeah.
So it was gonna be a big, massive thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And you know, it had Chewie at home, so
Yeah.
You know, the new one didn't have that.
Apparently, Rogue One did better as well.
It's this thing.
Harrison Ford was not in it. He was in it very briefly.
But it's this thing
that
when
was
they
the
say,
main problem with the last.
why is it a case of when they go, oh, it's not doing well because it only made $1 billion in this amount of time? It's like, hang on, if it makes $1 billion at all, it's doing very, very.
It's
only in
done
a
well,
world this sick can you be able to say that 1 billion is failure.
It's made its money, that's for sure. But,
how are you? Oh, I'm not doing so great. Why? Well, you know that $1 billion I made. Oh God, it took me
28 days.
It took me 28 days to make that instead of 14.
Yeah,
so I'm really not doing well. Do you know what I mean?
So
really
miffed.
not doing well. I had to wait to get my gold-plated toilet installed. Another 14 bloody days.
There you go. Exactly.
You know.
Do you want to hear some reasons that
go on.
that this geezer
Go on.
on
Please tell me. Go on.
So, there are any number of factors that likely contributed. So, there are any number. Does that sound vague enough to you?
Yeah, go on.
He's setting he's undersetting the table before he starts setting it, isn't he? Underperforming. Right. First one, fatigue from the oversaturation of Star Wars films in the marketplace, or lingering malcontent over controversial choices made by The Last Jedi. I would agree with that.
Yeah.
But it's impossible to ignore that most people thought The Rise of Skywalker just wasn't very good. Other films such as Pacific Rim, The Great Wall, and more recent Pirates of the Caribbean and Transformer films could rely on the international audience to make up for a lackluster domestic box office. While popular in the United States, the Star Wars franchise in general has failed to make as much of a dent in the international market, especially when compared to franchises like Marvel Cinematic Universe, The Fast and Furious, and Jurassic World. The Fast and Furious? Really? Do
It's
people
just
really?
cars being raced.
I've never
Fast
seen
and
one of them
Furious
movies.
471. The quest for the petrol tank. I don't know. I have absolutely no interest in those.
No, I saw
No
I
interest
think I
at
saw
all.
the first one, and then when they said, "Oh, we're going to make more," and now they're
It's
up
like,
to
why?
God knows how many movies.
I've seen
and-
0 of the Fast and Furious
They've
movies.
done that thing where they did that many with numbers after it.
Yeah.
And they've gone, shit, oh, we better just put like some words now. So they've gone, because if they go, it's Fast and Furious 12, then people will be like, come on now.
Yeah.
How many films about cars?
Score says, "Hello, I just managed to lock myself out of chat like a dozy bantha." Oh yeah. Star Wars is so I can sense the sarcastic undertones there from it. Star Wars is so unpopular in the UK.
Step around the
yeah,
bantha
yeah,
poo
yeah.
back into the
Sarcasm,
chat.
it's a
You'll be
chasm
fine.
between funny and not.
I prefer Specific Rims too. Yes.
Don't we all?
Oh, my friends come to chat. They completely bring
literally.
the fucking,
Literally.
they bring the tone of the whole thing down before we've even really got started. But
They
it's,
did bring the tone down.
it's good.
So, as the New York Times notes, a key part of that is China. One of the biggest movie markets in the world, Chinese audiences simply don't have the same connection to Star Wars as US audiences. The original films simply weren't available in the 70s and 80s. The sequels can't ride on nostalgia. The result is, but they did, but the result is that The Rise of Skywalker gets hit with both a relatively unenthusiastic domestic audience and an uninterested international audience. After Rise of Skywalker, Disney is giving the franchise some time to rest, which I think is a good idea.
Well, what are
Yeah, I
they
think
going
that's
to
okay.
what are they going to do from like this point forward anyway? I mean, isn't this the saga finished now?
Let's come to that. The next film in the series isn't scheduled to hit theatres until 2022. Assuming there are no delays or changes in plan. Like people getting fired, rehired, and fired, and rehired. So, the future of Star Wars for now, lies in smaller shows like The Mandalorian, which just concluded its well-received first season on Disney's new Disney Plus streaming service that we haven't got in the UK still until March. A second season is already in the works, as are 2 other live-action series based on Rogue One's Cassian Andor. Why though? And the prequel trilogy's iteration of young Obi-Wan Kenobi, played once again by Ewan McGregor.
Hello there.
Hello there. Which should be interesting.
Well, it should be with the rumour of the character that's going to be added into that show.
Tell me more.
The ever popular Jar Jar Binks.
Oh, for God's sake.
Just what we've been
He's
missing.
making his return.
Is he? Oh, thank God for
Well,
that.
rumour has it.
Thank God for that.
Just of all the, I mean, it's the thing when people can say anything that they want about like the most recent trilogy of movies, and they go, they're terrible, and he goes, I'm sorry. Nothing will ever ruin a movie more like Jar Jar Binks. I mean, I was actually enjoying The Phantom Menace just right up until the point where he opened his mouth. And then from that point forward, it just kind of went... just ruined it for me. Ruined it.
Were you loving Obi-Wan Kenobi's rather stiff jokes?
Well,
Yeah.
it was.
You were right about
of
one
course.
thing, Master. The negotiations were short.
I mean, it was the joke, like those jokes, like as a Sith. Scott says they're bringing Jar Jar Binks back as a Sith.
Now that I would pay good money to see.
Yes.
Misa learned there are many paths to the dark side, some considered unnatural.
Yeah, he's been smoking those pipes. He's been smoking on Palpy's pipes.
Oh god, yeah. That's how Palpatine gets his voice. He just smokes 40 a day. That's what he was doing on Exegol for all those years. 40 a day, like,
on a Gungan bong.
yeah, that's it. You don't see it like you don't see it when Kylo Ren walks in
gong.
first. Because what you didn't see is just off shot was Palpatine like, I've been waiting for you.
Every voice you heard was me. Wow, man, I don't know where it comes from sometimes. Anyway,
That's why he's on a respirator in the new film.
let's finish off what this moron's been saying here on
Go on.
the version. Anyway,
Go on.
so Star Wars will return to the big screen at some point as The Rise of Skywalker shows. Even poorly received Star Wars films are still usually billion-dollar blockbusters. But with the lore-heavy Skywalker saga concluded, it's likely the next phase of Star Wars will look a little more like Marvel or Fast and Furious films. I don't know why he's obsessed with it. Emphasising more standalone, bite-sized adventures that don't have all the baggage of the past films attached.
Well, as long as they don't do another Solo, then it'll be.
Yes,
Yes.
as long as nobody ever makes another Solo.
That was just.
Terrible.
It could have been good.
No, it could have been brilliant.
It was a
casting choices.
Bad
were
idea
off.
from the start.
Yes.
Everything about it was terrible.
But Rogue One was so perfect.
Rogue One was good.
I think it was
that's what I
because
was going to say before. Actually, I think Rogue One financially has done a lot better than The Rise of Skywalker.
probably because I think with Rogue One being a direct tie-in between because it's literally just before A New Hope, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking days or like a week before A New Hope happens is Rogue One.
Yeah.
And I remember going to see that in the cinema and me being on the edge of my seat for the entire thing because it was absolutely perfect.
Yeah, it's
It's up there with
my
Empire.
favourite Disney.
Plus,
Yeah.
you've got original vehicle porn, haven't you?
Yes.
You've got original vehicles in HD, looking white and
Yep.
beautiful, and
Yeah.
and he still
original
talks-
era stormtroopers.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
None of this First Order shite.
No.
That for me was a little missed opportunity there in the new one. When, I mean, let's go there anyway.
Go on.
For a start, here's maybe some of the issues that I had with it. Generally, I enjoyed the film, and I think JJ did well with what he had to deal with.
Oh, yeah,
despite
yeah.
ignoring some of his own rules from the first one.
Yeah. There's no lens flare or anything.
Inconsistencies. But one of the things was like, right, so you need this thing to find the thing to find where Palpatine is.
Yeah.
But then and you need that to fly through that thing to get you to the planet. But that thing you can see in the side of the frame doesn't fill up all of the space. So why could you not just fly around that anyway? Whatever. Anyway, that's besides the point. So later on, when he goes, right, okay, hey, how's about this then? And he goes, bang, and all the Star Destroyers come out of the ground.
Yeah.
Which, if you've been hiding on that planet, like, why do you need to hide them in the ground? And if they're hidden in the ground, how are they fully stocked with soldiers?
I know exactly why, Paddy. I know why. Because it says so in the script.
Yeah.
That's why. No. It's that simple.
Or as red lettered media would say, because the Force.
Yeah.
That's not how the Force works.
That's not how the Force works.
The galaxy is counting on us.
Rogue One, final 5 minutes, pretty much cemented it as one of my favourites. It's the first time we see Vader as a truly terrifying force of nature, but that scene was added in the reshoots.
Yeah,
was
that
it
was a
not?
last minute
Yes,
thing,
it
wasn't
was.
it? Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
it was. So, what I'm saying is, there's a small missed opportunity.
Right.
Is that when he brought the final order, because it was Palps. I mean, I know they're now saying he was behind everything. Whatever, but I felt that because also when Rey goes on to the remains of the Death Star, again, how is there going to be that much left of the Death Star?
I loved that though, and I loved it, when she went into the throne room, and there's that there.
There's old school Stormtrooper
Yeah,
which is the first time we've seen, I think, a Stormtrooper helmet in this trilogy. Is it?
Yeah,
I think it is.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, why could not all those Star Destroyers and stuff he brought up should have been the old Empire? Should have been the old Stormtroopers.
But the Star Destroyers were the old Star Destroyers. Did you not notice that? They were the old Star Destroyers, but they just had planet-destroying cannons on them.
Yeah, but why didn't they?
Why didn't they have the original uniform?
Why didn't we have original Stormtroopers?
Because that's the thing. The uniform has been upgraded and improved. That's why the First Order has a new uniform.
Yeah, but if they've been sat there, have we not got that they're sat there for 30 years? Or is it because they've got the guns of the new ones?
Well,
I mean, I don't know.
Scores just made a very, very valid point on this.
Right.
What kind of contractors did they use to build these Star Destroyers? That was a fucking hell of an NDA. Palpatine
that
must have
really
had.
was, yeah. There's all these questions.
What are you doing on that planet, Dave?
If you've not seen Clerks, you need to go and watch Clerks.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good point. I mean, in the original trilogy, you've got sort of an explanation how the Empire built shit, right? You know, they either use slave labor or whatever.
Yeah.
In this new film, it's like, how did he get all this equipment and build this stuff?
Yeah, I mean, it is a bit of a strange thing, because all of those Star Destroyers were fully crewed as well.
That's what I'm
weren't
talking about.
Yeah.
So they're all fully crewed. So we were meant to, like,
With red.
Underground?
Yeah,
First
so
Order
how have they all been, like, directed to Exegol?
Because of the Force.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
But that's true though. Like the contractors. I mean, how did this go? Like, did Palpatine make a transmission? Like, and just go,
"Give me 30 years, I'll give you the world."
Hello, I wish to hire some labor to build some.
It's a quick job. Honest.
Some planet-destroying Star Destroyers. Sorry, what was that? I said some planet-destroying Star Destroyers. Well, wouldn't they be called planet destroyers? No, we won't talk about that. Just build the damn things, and
I think we were just all glad that we didn't have a circular object planet destroyer again.
Wow. Yeah, this is true.
It's just like, we're going to have to put the guns somewhere else, guys. Okay, let's put them on the Star Destroyer. That's a good idea.
That's no moon, it's a space station. Oh, that one isn't a moon either. That's a space station. Oh, God, that's not a moon. It's a planet.
So it's bigger. Yeah. So, clones, all from one bloke called Jeff. Yeah. You're not Jeff Vader.
Yeah, Jeff Vader. Darth's cousin.
Darth's cousin
the carpenter.
So, I'm sure we can come back to Rise of Skywalker, but that was just one small thing.
Oh, no, I agree. Yeah.
You know.
It is an interesting thing, because it's like,
right.
How did it come about?
Let's talk about everybody's favourite Star Wars director, Rian Johnson.
Boo.
Right, okay.
Boo.
Okay. DigitalSpy.com. Star Wars, Rian Johnson gives an update about his new trilogy. Let me guess what he says. I bet I can't guess. Is the Force still strong with this one? I don't think it ever was. Despite things being pretty quiet on the Rian Johnson Star Wars front recently, the director has assured everyone...
Thank goodness for that.
Has assured everyone that it's all very much still in the works. The Last Jedi director was announced to be making a new trilogy of Star Wars film movies years ago, but information has been pretty scarce since. However, Johnson has revealed that things are all ticking along, telling Variety, "I'm still talking to Lucasfilm, but they haven't announced anything on their slate yet." Following the release of The Rise of Skywalker, this franchise seems to be taking a bit of a break from the big screen, with Disney boss Bob Iger, we can't say it any other way but Bob Iger, recently confirming that the movies will go into a hiatus for a few years. That's
Why
2.
have you gone into like a full? Are we now an American Star
We're-
Wars
We have
podcast?
to be an American Star Wars podcast, right?
You know,
So speaking back in September, Johnson said of his movies, the truth is they're still figuring out their schedule, their game plan. If it's possible for me to squeeze in another film while working on that, I will. I'd say it's a pretty good chance you can make a few films before that happens.
Yes.
we have a new viewer on Mixer, by the way. We have It's
we do?
Blazes.
Howdy.
Hello, It's Blazes. Welcome
Hello,
to the
hi.
stream.
Blazes.
Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. If he does find some time to fit in another movie, it could be a Knives Out sequel.
I've not seen that yet.
I haven't
No,
seen
me
it yet,
neither.
so I can't pass judgment.
I mean, I've heard it's meant to be good.
I've heard it. I believe it's yeah. What did Rotten Tomatoes say about it?
Oh, they gave it. What was it? Nearly 100% or something?
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, I suppose-
Ryan Johnson's a Hollywood lovey, man. He's a walks on water, that guy.
But that was it, fuck up Star Wars, so anything else he does is an improvement. So it's,
Apparently, well, there you go. But yeah, he's developing a sequel. So, elaborating on it in the new interview, the director teased, I'm always kind of saying, if this movie does all right, I would be thrilled to do another one. But a lot has to happen. I have to write a script. The fun thing is thinking about it in the context of Agatha Christie and Poirot or Miss Marple. Of course, you're comparing it to those. That way, the sky's the limit. It's what is the next case. It's not about building a mythology around a character.
Score is disappearing, by the way. He says, apologies, guys. Great show, but I have a hyper early start on Dathomir. I mean, London.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Well, good luck in the big smoke
Yes.
Indeed.
tomorrow.
Indeed.
Have a good day. Yeah, so, I mean, I don't know. He's been saying a variation on that theme for quite some time now.
Yeah.
That,
Lucasfilm,
they're
they're still
just
in
trying to
talks.
figure out their schedule.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Do we believe
yeah.
that? Is he just trying to keep the fire alive? Is he just trying to keep those people who like him
I mean,
with Star Wars
still in
just on-
talks. He's not like picking up the phone and saying, so anything moving forward? Not yet. All right. Talk to you next week.
Yeah.
That's in talks.
Lucasfilm Disney at this point, it probably there's like, oh God, he's calling us again.
Just go away.
Just ignore him. Ignore him. Just send him through to voicemail. It's fine. We'll keep
Hey
him.
guys, just checking to see if you received my reply to my email that you didn't reply.
Hey
to.
guys, just looking to see if you received my script. Oh yes, Ryan, that's brilliant. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put it right over here on the refrigerator. I'm gonna put it over on the refrigerator, and then we can take a look at it whenever we want. So
It's Star Wars: The Rise of Ruin.
Brilliant.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I could live without a new series of films from Ryan Johnson, but
Yeah, me too.
JJ should have done this whole trilogy.
He should have done.
He should have done the whole thing.
He should have done.
Because in episode 8, Snoke wouldn't have been killed.
Yeah.
Luke wouldn't have been killed.
Yep.
Possibly.
Luke wasn't killed. He just faded into
He
fucking
just
nothingness. He wasn't killed
Disappeared like a fart in the wind.
he just died because the Force.
because the Force. Yeah.
Why
Why can
Because
Carrie?
he was too much of a big character and he overshadowed Rey, basically. That's why they got rid of him.
The thing that ruined, and I mean the thing that completely ruined The Last Jedi for me was the whole Leia thing. When she gets blown out of the command ship, and then all of a sudden she decides to just fly back into it.
Yeah.
And again, we've never seen that she was able to do anything like this ever before. None of this was ever explained. Nothing. And then
the only hint we've had before that about her being a Force user, if you recall, was that she hears Luke in Empire Strikes Back.
That's it. And then it was like JJ tried to at least JJ did a very good job in the Rise of Skywalker, where they did the flashback to her having Jedi training, and it's like, but why? You know, this kind of should have been explained beforehand that Leia had trained to be a Jedi, and like there's this big gap obviously in between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. Well, we didn't know what it's like again with C-3PO's red arm, and he calls he's like, oh, you're probably wondering about my red arm. Never gets explained.
Not particularly.
And nobody has a clue.
But don't worry, they made a comic book about that.
But we want it explained in the films.
Exactly.
And can I just tell you that I think it was at least 25 minutes to half an hour I will never get back, was Anthony Daniels reading that to an audience of people at Star Wars Celebration.
What, reading the comic?
I was in the room. Yeah.
Oh my
Really?
god!
He read the comic to us. Yeah. After the most uncomfortable sort of game that he did up on stage, like bring someone up on stage. I think it went out live, and then the video was never put on YouTube.
Oh
It
my
was
God.
Like, it was a car crash of
Wow.
epic proportions, that spat
okay.
panel.
Right.
Wow.
It really was. It was tremendous.
I mean, it's.
I mean, I've always thought that he is heavily involved with himself,
Yeah.
which I think he is.
I mean,
You know, if he was made of gold, he would smelt himself down and
Yeah.
eat himself or
But-
whatever. I don't know.
again though, with the Leia Jedi thing, the Force usage thing.
Yeah.
At what point have we ever seen that somebody who uses the Force can survive in the vacuum of
Once.
space?
Have you seen Rebels?
No, I haven't. I've never actually watched Rebels. I've
Kanan
never watched
Jarrus does
it.
it.
Thing.
Kane and Jarrus does it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, briefly, you sort of from one door to another, you know, on a ship
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
on the outside.
Whereas she was literally floating in
She was
space.
unconscious. She woke up. She flew through space.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it didn't.
Because of the Force.
Leia Poppins.
Leia Poppins.
Leia Poppins.
Yeah, they were calling it Mary Poppins in space, weren't they?
Yeah, completely.
I do remember distinctly cringing at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, but it seems clear that, I mean, maybe that wasn't what JJ's idea of her being a Force user was going to be. I would have gone for something more subtle than that.
Well, yeah.
But you can see that, obviously, had Kerry been around to make the movie, to make the Rise of Skywalker or whatever it was going to be, that her role was going to be, you know, you probably could have explained, she could have had an explanatory dialogue and
Yeah.
told the story of how her and Luke, she went through the training and it didn't work out and she decided that she was best placed
Yeah.
to be a politician or
I mean,
better.
they did great with the footage that they filmed
They
for
did.
the last Jedi, for the Rise of Skywalker, because it worked really well, and her death worked really well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
It
nicely
was
handled.
done. It was handled very well. I mean, I think if they were going to do it a different way, they could have literally just killed her when she got blown out of the bloody ship window. But
Yeah.
again, I think people would have been.
There was more to a story.
Yeah, I think people would have gone nuts, going,
Yeah.
"What? That's how she dies. The ship blows up,"
Yeah,
and they
they
go,
would
"Well,
never
people were
have-
going nuts about how Luke died as well."
But
So
the
yeah.
thing is, it was, and it's something that happens a lot in these trilogies. You set in the sequel trilogy, you're setting all these characters up to do what?
Yeah.
Like they've got nothing to do really, and it's like, you know, they did that thing with Princess Leia. She goes out the window, and then we find out that she's a Force user. But then, why?
Yeah.
Like she's out of action. So then we have to step up with this purple-haired woman.
Who again just completely disappears in the
who's a
third
pointless
movie.
character.
The same with Rose. Rose pretty much disappears in the third
Yeah.
movie. And again, Finn didn't really have much of a
No.
part in the third movie
No.
either. It was.
He was great in the first movie, and then he would have very little to do in that second. It's what we've always said before, isn't it? That like, or certainly I've said it. It seemed like Rian Johnson had written all the Jake Skywalker and Finn and Rose stuff,
Yeah.
and the Rey and Kylo stuff, and then gone, oh shit, what we're supposed to do? What about
Yeah.
what we're going to do with Finn and they go on a mission. Oh,
Yeah,
can
we were
do
meant
a
to do something with that.
We can
Yeah.
do the cantina again. Let's do that. Like throw a few million at that.
Yeah.
You know. Oh hell, we'll just do what we always do. Blow it up. It's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
Is there an exhaust port or
Yeah.
So here's a question, like,
Trash.
just, like theorizing a bit. If JJ had done Episode 8 and not killed Snoke, that would have meant the Emperor not returning, right? Because Snoke would still have been the big bad.
I would have thought so.
Well, Snoke. Bear in mind, obviously, that Snoke. I believe that Snoke was a clone being remote controlled by Palpatine, wasn't he? Because if you notice at the beginning of
Well, that's what they say now.
Yeah,
That's what it's saying now.
Yeah.
which is
That like a retcon?
yeah. I mean,
It's definitely a retcon.
where we turn up and then you can see clones of Snoke's body, like in the test tubes.
Yeah.
But what was he meant to be initially? Because it's a weird. It really is a weird thing.
But
Because
also, why would he need to? Why would Palps need to do that anyway?
well,
Why not just turn up himself?
Yeah.
because he was on that thing that
Yeah,
he
the
couldn't
big arm from the
move.
sky.
Remember, he was on the arm thing. He was on a complete life support machine until he managed to suck the life force out of Rey and Kylo Ren. I mean, I'd like to suck the force out of Rey, but it's I mean, it's
We are.
but, I mean, because that was it. Because he was literally that was his plan, was for Rey to become the ruler.
Yeah.
Because
So become what?
that may have been in the script from day one for all of those films. Ago, we're going to bring Palpatine back, but Palpatine obviously is damaged and years have gone by, so he's on life support. He can't do anything, then
I don't ever buy the it was a plan all along thing, which has been said a couple of times, but there's always somebody contradicting that. Like JJ himself. Yeah. Oh no, Ian McDermott. He said, "Oh, they only contacted me like a year ago.
Yeah.
And asked if I wanted to come back as Palps." And I thought, well,
Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of.
They're halfway through filming when they have you seen contacted him.
Yeah, it is. It is a weird one though, isn't it? Because ultimately, I feel that the movie that we got with the Rise of Skywalker, personally for me, I loved it.
Yeah.
But it was evident that there were parts that JJ had to kind of repair after what had happened, especially with Luke just fading away in the second one, and then having him come back in this one where he just catches the lightsaber and just goes, "What are you doing?" And it was like, "Oh, yes, fucking good!" And it's like I'm sat there in the cinema like that, and I thought, well, that's more like it, because at least he had a role to play. In this film. The same with Han Solo.
Yeah.
It was good because part of me almost felt like JJ was going to Harrison Ford with this, and going, look, we're just going to remind people what we did in The Force Awakens. Just have Kylo say the exact same goddamn line of dialogue, and we'll put this thing right back on track. I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it.
It was a nice idea, though.
Yeah.
It was a nice idea, and like I say, the I've not said yet, but my God, the dad. I know. I was like,
Andy Barraclough is in chat, by the way.
hey,
Who's that?
Andy.
How you doing, Andy?
Oh, Andy.
Welcome.
How you
He
doing,
says,
Andy?
why did Williams use the Palpatine music over Snoke in Force Awakens and Last Jedi? So that's a good
This
thought,
is true,
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, Andy has pointed out. I don't know if we get into this fully on the episode when he came in, because we were supposed to do stuff. We did the music quiz and we did other bits, but then we were supposed to get into all the parts, and we ran out of time. We're going to do that in another show, but so Andy does have to come back. But yeah, that's an interesting point. Also, you pointed out, Andy, and correct me if I'm wrong, you'll have to put this back in chat as well. You pointed out that there are elements of the Palpatine theme in Rey's theme. Also.
Or is that Kylo's?
No, I'm sure it's in.
Yeah. Is it Kylo's theme that's in Rey's theme, or Emperor's theme that's in Rey's theme?
I think Palps' theme is
Andy.
in Rey's theme. Andy, you're gonna have to fill us in with that anyway.
Yeah. Dun, dun, dun,
So is that why then?
Dun. Maybe that was the plan all along. That's why John Williams was using.
Well, what's weird about it is, we all know John Williams is a genius anyway. But if there wasn't an overall plan, how did he know to drop these hints in to the music, knowing what's going to be paid off later on? Rey's theme and Kylo's theme.
Hang on, isn't Lunar Space you? Or is Gina now joining us in on
that's
chat?
me.
Oh no, there we go. I thought, yeah. I thought Lunar Space was Paddy. He's like, it was like,
he's logged in as
like he's talking to himself in
Lunar
chat.
Space on there, yeah.
Ray's theme and Kylo's.
If you need a new website, go to lunarspace.co.uk. Yeah, Rey's theme and Kylo's theme are intertwined.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
So I was wrong then about the Palps and Snoke thing. Is that right? Sorry, the Palps and Rey thing. Yeah, okay.
So that was then the
Kylo
plan
Ren's
all along.
theme is in... here we go. That's it. Here we go. Kylo Ren's theme is in Palpatine's, and Rey's theme is...
Oh. So that's already... Yeah, I didn't know that.
So there you go.
That's answered that question then.
There you go.
Thank you, Internet. You know?
No, that's Andy.
Yes, Andy. Yeah, but again, you know, it's
That's
one of them
something
questions.
he's figured out.
Yeah, we don't have to wait to see it in the YouTube comments. That's the beauty of
Yeah.
going live. People can just go, "No, you're wrong.
thank you.
You're wrong,"
Yeah.
and we'll tell you why you're wrong as well.
So, well, so there you go.
Yeah.
So there you go. Now, when we came out of the film, I think the film finished, and I was just like, "Oh my god, I loved it." Andy was silent for quite some time.
Yeah.
Just taking it in. But he was also because he wanted to listen to all of the John Williams music to the end of the credits
And why not?
on the
I
large
did.
sound system.
I did. You know,
fair
yeah.
enough. You seem quite positive about it after the film, but where are you now, and what were your issues with it, and
Okay.
that kind of thing? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Buckle your seatbelts. No,
Oh shit! I got him started. Anyway, go on.
no, I'm not going to go on a rant about it. I enjoyed it for what it was. You know, JJ did have his hands tied coming off the Last Jedi.
Yes.
A lot of the things he'd set up in the first movie were sort of destroyed in the second movie, so he had to like come back with other things in the third movie. That's how I see it, and that's kind of what it looks like, judging from what the actors are saying. And JJ and his co-writer, what's his name? I can't remember his name.
Can't remember the co-writer name. We were trying to remember that earlier on.
Yeah.
I'm sure somebody on the internet will tell us.
Yes. If you are joining us, by the way, and you're viewing this on Facebook or Mixer or Twitter, come on over to the YouTube channel.
Yes.
It's a friendly thing over here, and then we can actually see what you chat. Because I know there's people commenting on like the Facebook
Oh, is there?
and stuff. Yeah, in Facebook we have Michael Morris, Jason Edgley,
Oh, Jason Angelo.
and we have Dave Blackwell. Dude, whose lightsaber was that at the end? What was you see, we missed a lot of chat. Hello, aloha from Cape Cod, Massachusetts.
Yeah, Dave's in Massachusetts, yeah.
Wow.
I know Dave via Mick Quinn from Supergrass.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Dave, come over to YouTube. Come over to YouTube. Club Star Wars.
Whose lightsaber was it at the end? As in
Ray's.
It was. Oh, it was Ray's. Yeah, it was Ray's.
Yeah.
It was the new one that she
The new
built.
one that she'd created, wasn't it?
That's
Yeah.
why she
With the old
Yeah.
switcher thing at the top,
buried
Yeah.
the old things.
and it changes colour
Yeah.
apparently.
And she buried Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber in the sand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As
In
you
the
do.
sand.
In the sun, it doesn't like sand.
Yeah.
In the sand.
The final insult.
Yeah, the final insult to we'll put Darth Vader through everything, and we'll be. I don't like sand.
That's
of
what I was
course, if it
laughing
gets
at.
everywhere.
Did you also notice? And I didn't notice. I didn't notice this. I think it was pointed out on Red on Half in the Bag.
Oh yeah.
Your man there noticed that her lightsaber is actually built out of part of her staff.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
It's
I
the
didn't.
same shape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I did not
Yeah.
see that.
I noticed
No.
The staff. The staff of Ra. I mean, the staff of Ray.
Yeah, and then she went for an orange color for the blade. It was like, what?
Yeah, but apparently if you watch when she's flicking it on, there's two colours before the gold colour. I think they're calling it gold.
Yeah.
All right.
And it goes from blue to green to gold.
All
It's,
right.
it's a rainbow saber.
So
No, yeah,
it's
the rainbow saber.
If she'd have stopped on the first switch, it'd have been blue. If she stopped on the second switch, it'd have been green. But she flicked it 3 times and it went
Of course, she made a
something like that. Anyway,
So that would then mean that it would have to have 3 separate kyber crystals in it.
Yeah.
from the
To
other
have-
two lightsabers.
Yeah, because
because of the Force.
again.
No, but also there's another thing. Did you notice? And as I'm watching the film, I was like, "This feels like Indiana Jones, not Star Wars." That whole section where they get caught in quicksand and they've got to find the dagger in the underground thing, and I was like, Star Wars has gone Indiana Jones.
And then there was a snake in the cave.
And there was a snake.
There was a
I'm
snake.
like,
The Goonies as well.
Oh, that was total.
You know.
And there was another point that was very much where they said because of the Force. The thing with that dagger, right? It's got ancient Sith runes on it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But it lines up with the crashed Death Star when she puts it on.
Yeah. I don't get it. Yeah, that's a good point.
Well,
Did the ancient
I think it's
Siths
'cause it
know
would-
the future because of the Force, or
Because the Force.
What? How does that work?
Maybe they, difficult to see. The future is.
Maybe they went. It's not difficult to see.
Yeah, it's not difficult to see if you're a Sith Lord. That's probably what it is. If you're a Sith Lord, you can see into the future perfectly fine.
Defeated.
Yeah.
Then there'll be a thing you'll be able to see the bang.
Because if you remember, there is that line when Palpatine says in Return of the Jedi, "Everything is proceeding as I have foreseen."
Yeah.
So he must have seen certain things going
thrown down the well.
Yeah. He must have known that all these things were going to happen because it's like the grand plan.
Yeah.
That he's planned every single thing from,
he can come back then. He must have known what was going to happen in the Rise of Skywalker.
Possibly, maybe, but then again, he was completely and totally annihilated at the end of Rise of Skywalker. He wasn't thrown down a well, and we didn't really see what happened. He was well and truly annihilated, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was. I mean, that effect was great. I mean, that was the death he should have had in Return of the Jedi.
If you want to defeat,
again, it was.
If you want to defeat,
very Indiana Jones.
Yeah. If you want to defeat a Sith Lord like Palpatine, don't use one lightsaber. Use
two lightsabers. And then reflect. And then with the power of that extra lightsaber, you will be able to reflect his own Force lightning back on him. I mean, at that point, wouldn't he have gone, shit, this is hurting. Maybe I should stop doing this.
Yeah.
Oops. Oh, no.
Before you continue, I know we jumped on your thing as we were starting to talk about it, but all these things came up. Andy's making a few other points here. So, Palpatine was in Lucas's trilogy 2. The cloned Emperor was part of the old EU as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Her lightsaber at the top near the ignition looks like the end of her staff she has from Force Awakens. Yeah. Yes. Good point. And Adam Driver said JJ and Kasdan had an overall plan written, discussed for Kylo's arc. This was pre Last Jedi interview.
Oh.
Well, there you go.
Right. So they had an overall plan, but that plan was
trashed
by
Ruben Johnson.
Yeah, but because that was basically what he did, wasn't it? In the second one, he just went because it was obvious that the story was going a completely different way from what it was going in The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
Right from the word go, where Hamill just goes.
But the main thing is he submitted your expectations, so
Daisy Ridley said originally when the Force Awakens came out that if you watch the film, it's kind of obvious who her parents are or who the end will end up being. And to me, it was going to be Luke.
Yeah.
All along.
Well, didn't she do an interview after The Force Awakens where they tagged it on the Daisy Ridley, Rey Skywalker?
Yeah.
And everybody literally went, "What?"
There it is. That would have been better in my mind, as a whole package of the 9 movies.
Yeah.
He was the father. Mara Jade was the mother.
Yeah,
bring her from.
Again,
yeah. Obviously you can kill him off still, but at least is she still a real Skywalker? Because she's still a Palpatine. Really,
just point out, by the way, guys, we have been talking now for an hour. So how long would you like to continue chatting for? An hour has flown by.
It may not have flown by for some of you out there. I think being as it's the first Club Star Wars back for
a while.
year, maybe we could go a bit longer.
Yeah.
Fine by me. I just wanted to make you aware that it's been an hour.
I was going to ask you actually how long we've been going, and now we just go very.
There's
quickly.
a timer right down there that says live, and then you got the hours and minutes. You see, so it goes live 1 hour 2 minutes 47 seconds.
I shared a meme on Twitter that I found quite funny. It was the end scene of the Rise of Skywalker where she's buried the lightsabers and all that, and then that old lady rocks up with that weird camel type thing and says, "Oh, there's nobody been around here for many years, and what's your name?" She goes, "Ray." "Ray who?" She goes, "Ray Palpatine." And taps her.
A guy on my Facebook pointed out something that would have been a nice little throwback. Would have made it interesting. That old woman should have been, and people will kill me because I can't remember the character's name, but you know the deleted scenes from A New Hope of Luke and Biggs.
Oh yeah.
And she's called Koo Stark, the actress. She was like Biggs's girlfriend.
Is it the one who calls Luke Wormy or something like that?
Yeah, and Fixer, aka Anthony Forrest.
Yeah.
It should have been her.
Yeah.
She should have been the
Right.
old woman at the end. That
Yeah.
would have just been a nice tie up to
Yeah,
old
yeah.
Tatooine.
Yeah.
Which was a very good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would have been cool.
And that as well in the Rise of Skywalker, where they're in this quicksand, very Indiana Jones style, in the sinking, and Finn shouts over to Rey, "I've got something to tell you."
Yeah.
But then you never find out what it was.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bit of a habit in that sequel trilogy to set things up and then just not pay them off at all.
I think he was going to say, "I don't
Well,
like
they did it in Lost.
Yeah.
Another JJ.
Turns out none of that shit matters.
Rey, I don't like sand. It's coarse."
So going back to your thoughts, I know we've kind of huge tangent back.
Aye.
Yeah, as we always do.
Cares not a jot.
I'm sort of happy this sequel trilogy has been wrapped up now, and I'm looking forward to the new projects coming up. I'm quite happy to just, the sequel trilogy movies aren't ones I'll probably religiously put on when I want to watch a Star Wars movie. It'll either be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, and Rogue One.
Yeah.
The sequel trilogy movies, maybe now and again, but yeah.
Right. See, I'll quite
happily
sit and watch The Force Awakens.
The Force Awakens is good, but
JJ confirmed that Finn was going to tell Rey that he is Force sensitive.
Yeah. I mean, I thought that would have been the case. What if this whole sequel trilogy had been about Finn?
Yeah.
And he became the Jedi.
Yeah, because originally when I first saw the trailer for The Force Awakens, I thought that it was going to be Finn.
Yeah.
Because that was how they kind of showed it when he goes, "There's been an awakening," and the first person you see is Finn.
Yeah.
It's like, so a stormtrooper's going to become a Jedi.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
And then at the end, near the end of The Force Awakens, Rey actually picks up the lightsaber, and it was like, oh, you did. I see what they've done. Yeah, I get it. Yep.
I remember when it's on one of the panels. Hamill was talking about when he gets the script for The Force Awakens, and he's reading through it. And he's like, the Sword of Skywalker. He's like, I'm writing down every time they mention. Every time they mention Luke Skywalker, I'm like, this is going to be the most elaborate entrance in cinema history. Yeah. And he said he got to the bit where it was like, and the lightsabers in the stone, and I was like, here we go! Oh! What? She didn't even go to Dagobah for training!
Although it was
But can you imagine, though, if it had been, the lightsaber went bang, and it's Luke Skywalker.
Yeah. It's like, and I'm here with Mark Hamill. Mark?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'm just so used to just looking intensely and not actually having any dialogue.
Yeah. Did you also like the literal pun of cliffhanger of me and then stood on a cliff, the edge of a cliff?
Yeah.
Subtle.
Literal cliffhanger.
What's the thing, isn't it? At the beginning of The Last Jedi, he has hold of the lightsaber and throws it off the cliff. But in The Rise of Skywalker, he seems so concerned that Rey is throwing the lightsaber. Grabs it and is like, what are you doing? It's like, you threw it off a cliff.
I have to say, I absolutely loved that, but it did very much seem like
a retcon.
J.J. Abrams was going, hey, Ryan!
Yeah.
It literally... And that was another thing I had to say. This is because I didn't know Carrie Fisher, but knowing what Carrie Fisher was like... Mm-hmm. Maybe it was my state of mind watching the film, but I honestly expected to see this, right?
Go on.
There's the bit where when not Jake Skywalker, the ghost of Luke Skywalker turns up, and he's talking to Rey, and he says, "There's something my sister would have wanted you to have." And I honestly expected the Force ghost of Carrie Fisher to appear and her go, Honestly, I was just waiting for it. Honestly.
They couldn't. They would
I
never.
know they would never, but I was waiting for it. I was just expecting like the ghost of Kerry to just.
She would have been more likely to just walk out and just go, "Hope."
yeah.
Oh god.
Fly out, you mean?
Hope.
Hope. Yeah.
Hope. That's what it looked like at the end of Rogue One. Yeah, I mean, they got the CG Carrie Fisher like a million times better in Rise of Skywalker, because it was going so well in Rogue One, and it looked so realistic until she opened her mouth, and it was literally hope.
It was a bit weird, but I think they'd blown the budget on
Peter
Tarkin
Cushing,
by that point, which was amazing.
That was amazing.
That was really good. So you're happy to sit? You're glad it's over.
I'm glad it's over. I'm happy to move on and get the next project up and going, which I believe it's not the Old Republic, is it?
Gonk Droid. It's an entire trilogy about a Gonk Droid.
Droid, a Star Wars story.
It's not the Old Republic. It's High Republic. It's called the High Republic, is what they're aiming at. It's about 400 years before the original series. So Yoda will be half his age. How old is he when he died?
900 years. Yeah.
So he'll be
So Yoda will be in it.
Yeah, Yoda.
When 900 years old you reach,
may
look
not
as good
be
you
in
are.
it. Nothing's been confirmed.
Yeah.
Except
See,
the time.
I mean, I think they
could be in it.
I think they just need to completely divest themselves of any appendages from the films that have gone before, so they can just do something completely different. You know, like you say, Knights of the Old Republic, whatever that is. You need to go way back in history where nobody's got a clue about Darth Vader, Yoda, anything like that. You don't have to worry about what you might screw up in the other films by doing something weird back then that he would never have done because of whatever.
I want to see the formation of the Jedi.
Yeah.
And how, like, things like how they discovered to make a lightsaber and things like that. Because like, there's lore out there that the original because it was a proto saber with like a pack.
Yeah.
Years and years and years ago before they made it was like a battery pack with like a cable attached to the friggin' lightsaber.
Right.
And they called it a proto saber.
Because Zool.
Yes. You know. But that should be, because they go Andy's just said there can't be any Sith in that series, because in the Phantom Menace they say the Sith have been extinct for a millennia.
Well.
But that's the thing. So have the Jedi been around for a millennia as well? You know,
you should know that Disney don't care about a lot of those rules, though.
Like,
no,
how old of a weapon is a lightsaber? Is it 1,000,000 years old?
I don't know. I don't even know.
You know, it's one of them things, isn't it? Because did they used to fight the Sith with lightsabers? Where did lightsabers all of a sudden come from? And the Sith have been extinct for a millennia, so why in the Phantom Menace do any of the Jedi even have lightsabers? They exist to fight the dark side, don't they?
So, I mean, Andy might be able to, like... The Jedi came before the Sith, so Andy says. And the Sith branched off from the Jedi, right, Andy? I think.
You're getting him quicker than we are over here.
Yeah. So, Andy, I'm going to ask you a question. If it's High Republic and it's set 400 years before the events of A New Hope, who will the Jedi be fighting if it's not the Sith?
Jar Jar Binks.
Palps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's always going to be a Palpatine, isn't it? Always.
See, I think, despite what I've said, and now obviously they're getting into the TV thing.
And The Mandalorian, by the way, is bloody excellent.
That's set, again, between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens, isn't it? Because I remember,
That's right, Matt.
Yeah. That's right, Matt.
Yeah, the Sith branched off from the Jedi. Yeah.
I see. So, but that's the thing. So
Ewoks. You're going to be fighting Ewoks.
Gungans.
Yeah.
Ewoks are the one true rulers of the universe, you know.
Yeah.
You know, but that's it, isn't it? Because how I would have loved to have seen at any point in any of these movies, I would have loved to have seen somebody actually creating and building their lightsaber.
Yeah.
We never got to see it.
No.
We never got to see a Sith Lord corrupting a kyber crystal in order to create one of the sabers.
true.
I would have loved to have seen that.
Original Return of the Jedi, you nearly got to see it. It was a cut scene, wasn't
There
it?
is a cut scene there.
Yeah, because he
Like-
builds his green lightsaber, doesn't he?
Right,
So
yeah,
it's.
yeah.
But it would have been good to actually see that. I think that would have been
awesome. Would
Yeah,
have been awesome to
definitely.
see.
something to do with the lore, so that we can see how all of this stuff
Yeah.
came to be in the first place.
Yeah, I think also
100 sparks from Enemy Double D
Oh,
on
thank
Mixer.
you very much. Thank you very much.
Ah,
wow.
100 sparks.
Yeah.
Is that like a Mixer kind of donation kind of thing?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Thank you very much, Enemy Double
Thank-
underscore D.
Wow, that's brilliant. Thanks
Yes.
very much.
Now you can say you're making money off Club Star Wars.
That's amazing.
Welcome, by the way.
We
Very
may get a
welcome.
career out of this yet.
Hey.
Despite what I was saying about the need to get away from the law and stuff,
Yeah.
and coming back to what you're
From
saying,
the original stuff, yeah.
I think a series about young Sheev would be interesting. About young Palps would be an interesting series.
I want to see Teenage Palpatine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would he be a whining
Can you imagine
emo
the
bitch
ships?
like Anakin, or would he just be badass from the beginning?
Someone caught
Now-
him. Someone caught him downloading some fucking Gungan porn or something. His parents, that scarred him for life. He saw something that he shouldn't have, and he
Yeah.
went, "Screw you! I'm off to join the dark
Shower
side."
porn he saw under the hood.
And it
Don't
horrified him.
know if you've heard this, but getting back to the Rise of Skywalker quickly,
Yeah.
I know we're back and forth like ping
I know,
pong
we're going everywhere.
It's all right.
Originally, you know Matt Smith was going to be in it, right?
Oh
Rumours had
yeah,
it.
yeah. That was interesting how all that disappeared.
Now there's all
wasn't
this rumors that he was going to be a young emperor, a young Palpatine.
it? Yeah.
Palpatine. He wasn't going to be a Palpatine. He was going to be the what do you call
Sheev's
him?
lad.
No.
This
He's
is my lad.
from the Clone Wars animated series. You got the Mortis trilogy,
Oh,
and
right.
you've got the light side use and the dark side use and the father. So you got the daughter, the son, and the father. He was going to be playing the son.
Right. Of the Mortis.
It was the Mortis of the gods, apparently. But that was dropped because I think like the higher ups at Disney says.
Andy is putting some stuff in chat here. If you want to read that out, Paddy.
I'll do that just after he's finished that point.
Yeah,
The hypes at Disney said what?
The general audience won't get it. They won't understand it.
Right.
But it's that thing, it never gets explained in the movies as well, that apparently only 2 Sith Lords can ever exist at the same time.
Yeah.
That has to
The
be
Ruler
it. There can only be, Ruler 2. That's it.
Yeah.
And that never gets explained.
No.
But it's,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
He says Matt Smith was the son of Mortis God, of the Mortis God.
There you go. Right, let's get back to his full points then. Or something. So the new canon states thousands of years before the Clone Wars, the Jedi Order was fractured by a schism that began when a rogue and his followers turned away from the light side of the Force. See, this would be an interesting movie, wouldn't it? Believing the dark side was the path to true power. Having relocated to the planet Korriban in the Outer Rim territories, their movement ultimately evolved into the Sith Order, resulting in a war between the former brothers in the Force as the Jedi Knights rallied to the defense of the Old Republic. Yeah, Matt Smith was the son of Mortis. Coming back again to this point, the Sith remained in hiding for a millennia until the rise of Darth Sidious and Darth Maul in 32 BBY.
Yeah. Last we will reveal ourselves. That was
Yeah. Sidious, trained by Darth Plagueis, hid in plain sight as Senator Sheev Palpatine of Naboo.
There's again a weird thing about that, though, isn't there, with the Ruler 2? Because Palpatine was alive and a Sith Lord. Maul was alive and a Sith Lord. And Count Dooku was alive and a Sith Lord. All at the same time. So that's 3 Sith Lords.
Yeah. But he doesn't step into the second movie, so it's
No,
okay,
but
because of the Force.
But still, he was a very, very old person, so he must have been.
Oh, yeah, totally, yeah.
Because
That's a
yeah,
very good point.
Was Dooku a Sith Lord? I
well,
don't know if he was strictly. He was a Jedi that.
yeah, we never because we
Termed.
never heard we never heard him referred to as Darth anything, did we? So
No,
it's
it's
Count Dooku. But we got Darth Maul, Darth Sidious, Darth Plagueis.
Yeah, why was he a Count and not a Darth?
Well, I don't think he was a Sith to begin with. I think he was just on the side of the.
But again,
Trade
he
Federation.
must have been a Sith
he was-
because he had a red lightsaber, which means that he
Andy?
must have corrupted the Kyber crystal.
And,
And-
and he could use the
And he could use Force Lightning.
Force Lightning.
So he must have been a Sith Lord. Because you would have to be in order to corrupt, to do any of those
And
things.
he's got an explanation.
Maul was not a true Sith.
Oh, that's right. Count Dooku is called Darth Tyrannus.
Ah,
Tyrannus,
yes.
like,
Oh, yeah, that's right, of course.
yeah.
Bloody hell.
Slip
We've
mine.
been showing up here. Anyway, so the Sith cannot be in this new series. Maul was
Yeah,
not
that's
a
true.
true Sith after his battle with Kenobi in Phantom Menace.
Yes, Sidious. Yeah, it was mentioned in Attack of the Clones by Sidious in the final scene. Ah, yes.
And yeah, because
Count Dooku is called Darth Tyrannus. It was mentioned.
Yes, he is. Because I think because the Emperor refers to him as or is it Lord Tyrannus? I remember it a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, so he was mentioned.
well.
He was mentioned as a Sith
Darth,
Lord.
yeah.
Because Maul never uses any Force Lightning or anything like that.
No.
He just uses the double-edged lightsaber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And later on, Maul survives the chopping,
slicing.
the slicing in half and all that.
Which was just stupid.
And
his
it's
appearances-
stupid, but actually his character's used well after that.
Yeah, well, that's
in
the
the
thing. He was
animations.
underused. It was a shame because it was a.
I'm glad they brought that character back, even though it is a bit far fetched. You know?
Him being in Solo
and he
again
was never
was-
called.
Yeah,
Darth,
it was a bit
he was
strange,
never called
that
Darth
one.
Maul then.
Crap.
He was just called Maul.
Yeah.
You know, he'd lost the Darth.
Right. He lost the
okay.
Darth along with his entrails.
Maul renounced his title of Darth
Yeah.
and is just referred to as Maul.
Maul.
I see.
He became the artist formerly known as Darth. Sorry, guys, it's getting worse for me. This thing.
Painted slave to the dark side on the side of his face.
Carved into his arm. With
Yeah,
a
just walked around with a symbol, you know,
kyber knife.
Maul. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Did his own line of fragrances that he sold. Maul.
Eternity, Maul. I dreamt I was you. Passion.
Passion by Maul.
Yeah. So
Do you want to smell as good as a Sith Lord?
Do you want to smell like Sith?
God, I need a shower. I smell like Sith.
I just got these visions of Darth Maul sitting behind a perfume counter at some sort, like they're going, Maul? 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 Maul, what are you doing now? Oh, I gave up the Sith Lord thing a while back. I make my own fragrances now,
I dropped the mall.
Yeah, I'm
Now
selling.
I'm working in a mall.
Yeah, I'm working in a mall. I'm selling my own collection of jams and jellies. Do you want to try some of these?
A Maul called Darth. Maul. M-A-L-L. Yeah.
You go, Darth Maul.
Darth Maul.
So that'll be the sequel. Mall Rats.
Mall-
A Star Wars story.
Darth Maul
Smith,
opens a
what are you
mall.
Jane Silent Bob.
Yeah.
What tattoo face? Mall
like
rats.
him giving announcements over the tannoy, like, are you feeling hungry? Why not dine at one of our many food courts?
At last we will reveal our smoochy boochie.
Don't you just hate how warm it gets here on Tatooine? Well, we have something that'll help you with that. Maul's milkshakes.
Andy says, "Don't laugh. It's hard for ex-Sith to make their way in the universe."
He's like, what do they do? What are you? Well, I'm a failed Sith Lord. What do you mean you're a failed Sith Lord? Well,
I used to be.
I did it for many years, and then I just couldn't make a go of it, so I gave it up.
Some bastard shot me in half, and that was it.
It's like
Now
when
I'm
you,
flogging perfume.
it's like when you get the musicians that go, I used to be a really good guitar player and then I just gave it up. You know, I used to be good with a lightsaber. I just gave it up.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
Oh.
right. Okay, so we've been going. Should we do till past and then call it a
Yeah.
call it a night?
Can
So
do.
we've got about another 10 minutes. So
Well, actually, no. It's 11 now. We've been going for an hour and 23 minutes.
yeah.
But if you want to make it a nice hour and 30 minutes, then we'll go for like another
8 minutes.
8 minutes.
8 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Andy, while you're on there, is there anything else in particular that you wanted to talk about? Then by all means raise it. I mean, what was your? Well, do you want to talk about you for a minute? Just to say what you're doing on YouTube.
Well, what I will say is 8 minutes is all we've got left. 8 minutes is exactly the length of time it took Rian Johnson to ruin The Last Jedi. Just 8 minutes into the film, whole thing was ruined.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
Sorry, Andy.
you can find me on YouTube. You can find me at www.youtube.com/The Gaming Muso. Or you can go to gamingmuso.com and find me on all of my social media where I do epic, what are they called? Metal and rock covers of video game music. And then I do some hosting work and stuff and things. We've had some more sparks from Enemy Double D.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
So there we go.
Very
I
kind.
don't
Thank you
understand-
very much.
Thank you
I don't
very
understand
much.
what
Yeah,
sparks
so
are,
I'm
but thank you.
I'm known as the Gaming Muso. So if anybody likes video gaming stuff and shiz, then please do come and follow me.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes. So.
Oh, can I want to raise it. It's kind of Star Wars related because it's Mark Hamill. But
Yes.
in 2018, have you seen The Witcher?
Yes.
Right. In
Yeah.
Toss a
2018.
coin to your Witcher.
Yeah. Oh, God, don't start singing that.
Oh,
It's stuck in
Valley
my head
of
for the next-
Plenty. Oh,
Yeah,
Valley
yeah,
of Plenty.
yeah.
Oh.
There's that meme where you've got the masked intruder looking for someone and the guy's hiding and he starts singing that song and the guy reveals himself by, singing it too. But anyway, I digress. In 2018, Lauren Hissrich, who is a showrunner for The Witcher,
Oh yeah.
posted a series of tweets describing characters, and she got to Vesemir. And I replied to that tweet saying, this character should and could be played by Mark Hamill. Fast forward to now, it's sort of looking like it might happen.
Yes. Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's looking
Yeah.
like the second season that Mark Hamill is actually going to be in it,
Yeah. It's
which is pretty cool.
positive stuff
down
coming
to
from
him.
Hissrich.
Mhm.
So,
He suggested it in the first place.
So
Yeah.
you did that. You changed the world.
yeah,
that was me.
Yes.
we've got the Hamill in there, which can only be a good
To be
thing.
honest, I'd be quite happy if Mark Hamill was in it. Everything, It's
Yeah.
he's very underrated.
Is he
To be
good at
honest, as an
British
actor,
accents? Is he got a British accent?
Oh yeah. Have you heard him
Yeah.
like when he did the Joker,
Oh,
the
the
Batman
Jokers,
animated
yeah,
series?
yeah.
Jesus, he's
Yeah.
great.
He's good with voices, isn't he? Anyway, so
He does the
Yeah.
voices.
Yeah.
So-
I think he'd make a great Vesemir.
John Williams has been nominated for his 53rd Oscar for The Rise of Skywalker, most nominations of anyone alive. The score for The Rise of Skywalker is the final Star Wars score from Williams. That's until
that's good.
Disney go, say, John! Just counting out our money here, and we thought that maybe you'd want to,
no, apparently that's...
He was in it as well, wasn't he? Did he make a
He,
cameo?
he made a cameo. Yeah, he did.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, when they go to that planet to meet that another new character that they introduced that had previous history with Poe, but didn't really have much to do.
Oh, the
Apart
one
from
whose
giving
face
him-
we never really see, but
apart
looks
from give
like...
him a coin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go, take that. Thanks.
Toss a coin to
can I-
Poe Dameron, oh Valley of...
Yeah.
Can't have a kiss? No. All right. Never mind. Bye.
Yeah. And then she turns up again in the end in the epic
Yeah.
space battle.
I think it was there on that planet, whatever that one was called, where they go into a bar and like Williams is behind the bar, like
Ah,
trying
Cleaning
to
a glass
cop
or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was there.
it's better than them going into a casino.
Well, I think to be fair, I think he should win the Oscar. I think the score was great.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know how many has he actually got.
I don't know, but
He must have
definitely
won one,
deserves it,
surely. Andy.
God,
he must have more than one.
I mean,
I know he's got 53 Oscar nominations. He must have at least one.
I reckon he's got about. I reckon he's got 52 Oscars.
He must have 4 or 5 by now.
Yeah,
I really need to get the scores on final.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really do.
Yes, you do.
yeah.
Yes, you do. So, I think that pretty much just about wraps it up. Anyway, as you know, you can, if you're not on YouTube already.
Omar Trez is Williams' character on that planet.
No way does he know the character? Really brilliant.
See, it's again
Nice one, Andy.
instantaneous, you know.
Omar Trez.
Yeah.
Good. I thought it might have been a.
I bet there'll be some hidden meaning in
Yeah,
there.
Maestro.
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 Yeah, Maestro.
Just an anagram of Maestro.
Brilliant. Fantastic.
Well, there you go. There's a thing I didn't know there.
And on that bombshell,
Indeed.
thanks for coming along, man, and setting us all up on here.
Making this work.
You do know you'll have to come back next week and show us all how to work it again.
That's fine. I can do that. I can do that. That's not a problem. I have no life. I'm single now. Fuck it. I can do whatever the hell I want.
That was a small advert for you ladies out there.
That's right, ladies. Do you want a 35-year-old musician who lives with students in Staley Bridge? Look no fucking further.
How can you resist?
As they always say, what's a musician without a girlfriend?
5 Oscars.
Homeless.
Yes.
Anyway,
It's pretty much true.
I can't talk. But
5 Oscars. Williams has won 5 Oscars.
5 Oscars.
Yes.
Well, I hope this makes it 6.
I hope it makes it a Sith.
Good
I
luck
hope
to
it makes it a Sith. Fingers crossed for you, Johnny. Anyway, guys, I think probably it's likely we'll be back next Wednesday to do more of the same. So until then, may the force be with you.
Catch you next week.
Bye.
Bye.